Okay, so then I start my presentation here. So I'm Tobias Denk. I'm program coordinator of the IP Business Academy, and there I'm running the blog and also the LinkedIn feed. And on the LinkedIn feed, we have now 7,300 followers with the help of Social Gateway. And I just want to introduce you a bit to the process of Social Gateway to also help you to improve the engagement rate of your posts and also the followers. And so the presentation has basically 3 stages. So first, I want to introduce you a bit to where you can get inspiration for your LinkedIn posts. Then I show you some basic structure for LinkedIn posts that are better working. And then in the end, a bit of a recommendation how to create a process to work with Social Gateway. So first, one thing is to have sorry, back to the first slide. Exactly. So here you can see a bit of sources, how you can start creating your posts. So because when you want to create your posts, you typically need to have some inspiration what you want to talk about. And we suggest to start a post with one of 2 sources. So either with a current news article. So there you can look either on very general news sources like Reuters and check there what they write about intellectual property or your topic of choice, or in the middle, of course, there are also a lot of specialized news sources for IP. So you can also have a look on them and see what are the current topics that are discussed there. The other option is not to take a general news article, but to take something from your LinkedIn feed. You can just look through the LinkedIn feed, read some pieces of content and think about which piece of content might be very relevant for my topic. And then you can also bookmark it and decide later what to write on. And you also have here a huge amount of freedom what you want or what you can discuss. So for example, I put here on the writer an article about digitalization in the construction industry. And this article is very flexible, so you can discuss it from, for example, a software patent perspective and write about what is the relevance of the digitalization in the construction industry. You can look at it from an IP strategy perspective. So how do the business models do digitalization change? Does the necessary IP strategy change? There are a lot of options how to take such a piece of content from your timeline and create a new article about it. And then on the next slide, there I have an example about a typical structure, how to design a post that it works very well. So this is first a post from the Training and IP Awareness, IP Education Committee. So the first part here is basically connecting the inspiration that you have seen on the first slide. So here it is a report about standardization for researchers and put it into your specific IP context. So here it is about making the connection between the report and the IP awareness training and education topic. So this is typically the first short introduction to create your own context based on the news article or the content. Then the second thing, this is not relevant when you're posting on a personal profile, of course, but here it's really very important that you introduce who you are. So also right there, when you post for a committee, who are the different committee chairs that are co-authoring this article. So also put in there the links to your LinkedIn profiles, because you want to be reached, you want to create interactions. Also LinkedIn likes it very much when you have links to other profiles in it. So this increases your reach and your potential interaction. Then, of course, the third part of the post should be something that adds value to it. So some additional insights, some recommendations. So in this case, it is about identifying the specific passages of that report that are most interesting for IP experts. So this is a help for the reader to, not read the whole report, but just go to the relevant positions in the report. And of course, then there is a last section, and this seems a bit trivial or redundant, but you really need to add in the end a call to action. So in most cases, it is about inviting the reader to interact with the post or with the committee chairs. So normally people read an article, think it's very interesting, but then they just carry on. So having this call to action in the end is really a very important part. Oh, now the slides are gone. Okay. Yeah, perfect. Okay, then can you go to the next slide, please? Yeah. So this is a second example that follows basically the exactly same setup of the post with this 4 parts of the post now from the IP strategy committee. The idea is basically the same, only here there is no external news article, but a post from another LinkedIn member. And here you're basically referencing to the post and also introduce your IP topic. So here the post is about an CEO checklist, and here the starting point is to connect the CEO's position with the IP strategy. Then a second part, again, you present your committee and your committee members. As a third part, there is a bit of recommendation for the readers, and as a fourth part, a final part, there is again the call to action to interact with the committee and with you and with the post. So, and this is basically a very robust framework how to create a post with relatively few effort. And then on the final slide, I want to give you a bit of an introduction to the process, how to continuously and sustainably create an interesting feed, because it's not enough to just write ad hoc here and there one post, but you really need to get into some publishing frequency for your committees. So the best way is to set up a monthly jour fixe meeting where you can discuss with the other committee members the relevant posts and news sources, topics you found in the current month. Then you can, based on that, write the post in the structure like seen on the 2 slides before. Then as a next thing, after you've written the post, of course, you need to send it to Social Gateway, to Melina practically, send her the plain text of the post that should be published, but also all the other links, the external news source or the post that you found on LinkedIn that is referenced to your personal profile. So everything that is needed to practically publish the post needs to be sent to Social Gateway until the deadline. And then a few days later, Social Gateway will publish the post on the I3PM feed. And then this is not the end of the story. The very last point that is, again, very important is that you as a committee should also like, share, and comment on that post. So it's similar like on a previous slide where it's important that you invite the readers to interact with the post. So of course, you yourself should also interact with your post, because if you do not raise the engagement rate by that, the post will not typically run very successful. So there is still a bit of personal effort in it after it is published. Yeah, so, and that is basically how we run the publishing schedule with Social Gateway. And yeah, thank you.